Good morning, sharks. I've done this video so many times. Because I keep running out of time. I only have 10 minutes of free record time. So I'm going to make this really fast. Okay. Hi. Hello. Welcome back. We are going to start graphic design today. Excuse me. Yesterday I gave you guys a free day. Hopefully you turned in everything that you were missing. If you are still turning it in, just give me some time to go back and look at your projects and fix your grades. It just takes me a little bit of time sometimes, especially when a lot of you are doing it at once. Okay, so graphic design. On the screen here you'll see a pretty good definition of what graphic design is, okay? It is the process of visual communication and problem solving through the use of typography, photography, iconography, and illustration. The field is considered a subset of visual communication and communication design, but sometimes the term graphic design is used synonymously. Okay, so graphic design can encompass a bunch of different things, just like media arts, okay? But what we're going to focus on is logos and logo designs. So logos are used to easily identify a brand or a company or a service, right? And so you can do this through the use of, like they said, illustration, typography, okay, photography, things like that. And what that means is when you create a logo, you can do, either have words, typography, text, font, or imagery of some sort, which could be, usually is an illustration of some sort. So here for Nike, we have both. Nike can use at times just Nike, the words. Sometimes they use just the swoosh, and sometimes they use them together like you see on the screen. A lot of times a logo is nothing without the company. Okay, so a logo design can be awesome and very great, but if there's not a really good company, brand, service behind it, really who's going to know what it is? So obviously the ones that I've chosen are pretty well known because they either have been around for a really long time or they create a product that a lot of people are familiar with or use. So Nike, for example, if I asked you right now, hey, what does Nike make? Okay, just based off of history and teaching this lesson, I know that a lot of people say athletic wear. And it's because Nike's not only marketing campaigns, geared towards, like all the commercials have people running or playing some kind of sport, and they say, Nike, just do it. Okay, and just do it, by the way, is the slogan. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later too. But if you look at it, it's like all, and even what they make tennis shoes, they make, joggers, they make t-shirts and a lot of things that you could arguably wear doing something athletic. So, we kind of look at it. So Nike, the symbols, the logos, they represent an athletic company. We move down to the next one, Starbucks. Now, we talk about the evolution of a logo, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, because this logo is one that has changed quite a bit. And when I say the evolution, what I mean is just like the changing over the course of time of the logo, and this one's changed quite a bit. It's gotten more simplified, very much more simplified. So we'll take a look at those a little bit later, but so we know that this is Starbucks. Most of us know that this is Starbucks. And, when we think of Starbucks, we think coffee or tea or little treats, goodies, right? And again, this is just known. Before you'll see this, they had, I think it said like teas, coffee, teas, spices, or something like that. So there was actually words kind of describing what this company provided, because if it's a newer company, nobody knew, right? Nobody was really as familiar as we are now with what Starbucks provided. Coca-Cola. Now here's a great example. Oh, by the way, this is just an illustration, right? So this is just using a picture to represent the company. This is using just text to represent the company. This is the name of the company, and this is what they use as their logo. So you can do it either way. Coca-Cola, now when we talk about having just your name. Now, what becomes really important is the type of font that you use, the style of font. And Coca-Cola, like, if we had this written in, you know, I don't know, like the Nike letters, right, the lettering font style of Nike, then it would look a lot different. So really the font here, the typography is really important, you know, when you're doing your logo name. If you're doing it like this way, that's going to become really important. Apple is another one that has changed. You'll see that on the evolution of logos. Apple, this is pretty, again, you know, hey, my company's called Banana. All right, is your logo going to be a banana? So this is Apple, and it's an apple. All right, and again, this one has changed quite a bit as well, and we'll look at that when we look at the evolution of the logos. And then Target. All right, again, combination, you have an actual, you know, the target symbol is a target, and then, you know, you have the name Target. Okay, so what I want you to understand, again, is that you can have either a combination, one or the other. You don't have to have them all or both. That's completely up to you. But what I would start doing is thinking about your company. So the first step of this is going to be, what company are you starting or creating? And if you already have one, great. What services are you providing? It doesn't necessarily have to be a company, okay? It doesn't have to be Nike, where you make shoes and clothes and things. Or Target is a store, okay? They offer lots of goods from other people that make things. So they carry a whole bunch of different brands, right? So they're basically essentially just a store. You could be you know, you could provide a service like an animal shelter. You could do a nonprofit. You can, so it doesn't have to be something that makes something. I think a lot of times that's what we think. Oh, I'm going to make makeup or shoes. You can, but there are a million other, you could be a restaurant, right? So start thinking about things like that, and then what you are going to provide and what your name is going to be. Now, I would definitely like think of a couple different names for your company, and you know, do some research. Make sure that someone doesn't already have, that company doesn't already exist. You don't want to steal someone else's company name, okay? You can't. It's illegal, okay? So you don't want to go ahead and start using the Target and then just change a logo. You can't do that. So you want to start coming up with your own name for your company. And again, that starts really with figuring out what your company is going to provide. So that's where I would start. So for example, if I wanted to start a shelter, okay, I would maybe call it like Soroka Shelters or something like that. So really figuring out what good or service that you want to provide will help you come up with a name. So today really all we're doing is you're coming up with a company, you're coming up with a name, and then if you want to start your sketches, you can. The sketches are going to be due tomorrow. You're going to come up with at least from 3 to 5 different sketches of logo designs. So if you want to, like I said, if you want to get ahead, if you want to start thinking about that today, if you're like kind of on a roll, that's where we're going. And the final one will obviously be due on Friday. We have 2 different logo projects due that we do. So depending on, you know, how much we get done and everything, will determine, I guess, when they're due. So first we're going to start with our personal logo design, and then we're going to move on to where you're going to be pretending to be a graphic designer. You're going to design a logo for somebody else. So, okay. Step 1, fill out the Google Forms. Please watch the video that I attached. It's pretty cool. It's called The Evolution of Logos. So you can see how some of these have changed over time, and again, notice that they have gotten more simple. So think about that when you are thinking about your own logo design. Maybe making it a little bit more simple, something that people can look at. You don't want a whole bunch of stuff for them to read because, again, that takes time, and they want to just be able to look at something and kind of recognize it. Plus, if you're putting it on a shirt or something, you don't want it to be like a whole bunch of words, a lot to read. So something a little bit simple. So that's it. That's all I got for today. I'm running out of time. It's going to kick me off. All right. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns. All that's due today is Google Doc, and then start thinking about your logo. Okay. Thanks. Bye.